Lila felt like a criminal. She wasn't a criminal. She was a graphic designer. But standing in the middle of the bank, holding a thick envelope of cash, she felt like everyone was watching her. She pushed the money toward the man behind the glass. "I want to put this in a safe place," she whispered. "I want to open an account." The man, whose name tag said Mr. Roberts, didn't touch the money. He didn't smile. He adjusted his glasses and looked at Lila with cold, gray eyes. "I need to see your documents," he said. Lila smiled nervously. She had her passport. She had her visa. She handed them over. Mr. Roberts looked at them. Then he shook his head. "I'm sorry," he said. "This is not enough. Without proof of address, I cannot take your money." Lila froze. She didn't have an address. She had arrived in New York yesterday. She was homeless, holding $3,000 in cash, and the bank had just rejected her. But before we find out how Lila solves this impossible puzzle. Hello, English learners. Welcome back. I am your teacher, and today we are tackling one of the most stressful tasks for any immigrant or traveler: opening a bank account in the USA. In this episode, you will learn English by listening to the story of Lila, a newcomer to the US who discovers that giving a bank your money is actually very difficult. We will navigate the bureaucracy, the paperwork, and the confusing rules. To help you understand the story, we are going to focus on 3 specific power words that you will hear today: proof of address, minimum balance, and transaction. Are you ready to secure your finances? Let's enter the bank. Lila had dreamed of New York City for years. When she finally landed at JFK Airport, she felt invincible. She had a new job waiting for her at a design agency. She had a suitcase full of clothes. And she had an envelope filled with cash, her savings to start a new life. But in America, cash is suspicious. Let me explain that. To be suspicious means to cause distrust. If you carry too much cash, people think you are doing something illegal. Lila didn't know this. She just wanted to keep her money safe. She walked into Empire City Bank. It was a beautiful building with tall marble columns and a shiny floor. It looked like a palace. But inside, it was quiet. Too quiet. Lila waited in line. She practiced her English sentence. "Hello, I would like to open a checking account, please." When she reached the counter, she met Mr. Roberts. As we heard earlier, the meeting did not go well. "I need proof of address," Mr. Roberts repeated. "A utility bill. An electricity bill. A lease agreement." Lila felt panic rising in her chest. "But I am staying in a hotel," she said. "I don't have an apartment yet. I can't get an apartment without a bank account. And I can't get a bank account without an apartment." It was a catch-22. A catch-22 is a famous phrase in English. It means a situation where you cannot solve a problem because the solution depends on the problem itself. You need A to get B, but you need B to get A. Lila was stuck in a circle. Mr. Roberts sighed. He was not a bad man, but he followed the rules strictly. "I cannot help you, miss," he said. "Come back when you have papers." Lila walked out of the bank. She clutched her bag tightly against her chest. She felt unsafe. She had all her money on her body. If she lost her bag, she lost her future. She went to a coffee shop to think. She ordered a latte. It cost $5.50. She handed the barista a $100 bill, because she had no small change. The barista looked annoyed. "Do you have anything smaller?" she asked. "Or a card?" "We prefer cards." "No," Lila said. "Only cash." Lila sat down and opened her laptop. She needed a plan. She searched online, how to open a bank account without a lease. She read forums and articles. She discovered that not all banks are the same. Some big national banks are very strict. But there are other options. She found out about something called a credit union and online banking. But Lila wanted a physical bank. She wanted to talk to a human. She found a tip online. It said, if you don't have a utility bill, ask your employer for an official letter. Lila's eyes lit up. She had a job. She had a boss. The next morning, she went to her new office. She met her manager, a kind woman named Sarah. Sarah, Lila said. I have a problem. I cannot open a bank account, because I am homeless, technically. Sarah laughed warmly. Oh, honey. That happens to everyone. Don't worry. I will write you an employment verification letter. It will state your salary, and use the office address as your temporary mailing address. Sometimes, that works. Sarah typed the letter. She signed it with a blue pen. She put a fancy company stamp on it. Lila held the paper like it was gold. She felt a spark of hope. She decided to go back to the bank. But not just any bank. She went back to Empire City Bank. She wanted to face Mr. Roberts again. Lila walked into the bank. It was empty. Mr. Roberts was sitting at his desk, typing on his computer. He looked up. He adjusted his glasses. You again, he said. Yes, Lila said. She stood tall. She didn't whisper this time. I would like to open a checking account. I have my passport. I have my visa. And she placed the letter from Sarah on the desk. I have proof of employment and a mailing address. Mr. Roberts picked up the letter. He read it slowly. He looked at the stamp. He looked at the signature. Lila held her breath. Well, Mr. Roberts said. This is acceptable. Lila let out a long breath. Whoosh. However, Mr. Roberts said, raising a finger. There are conditions. For this type of student or newcomer account, there is a minimum balance requirement. Lila leaned forward. What does that mean? Lila is so close. She has the documents, but now she has to talk about numbers. Before we see if she can afford the account, let's explain those power words. Word number 1, proof of address. This is a document that confirms where you live. Banks are very strict about this to prevent fraud. Common examples are an electricity bill, a water bill, or a lease agreement. Example, the library refused to give me a card, because I didn't have proof of address. Word number 2, minimum balance. This is the lowest amount of money you must keep in your bank account to avoid paying a fee. If the minimum balance is $1,500, and you only have $1,400, the bank will charge you money. Example, I have to be careful not to spend too much, or I will fall below the minimum balance. Word number 3, transaction. A transaction is any action involving money. Buying coffee is a transaction. Depositing money is a transaction. Transferring funds is a transaction. Example, the bank blocked my card because they saw a suspicious transaction from another country. Okay. Lila understands the words. Now, let's see if she can finish the transaction. The minimum balance, Mr. Roberts explained, is $1,500. If your account drops below this amount at the end of the day, we charge a $12 monthly fee. Lila did the math in her head. She had $3,000 in her envelope. That is fine, Lila said. I have enough. And, Mr. Roberts continued, How many transactions do you expect to make per month? I don't know, Lila said. Rent? Food? Maybe 30. Okay, Mr. Roberts said. I will set you up with the everyday checking account. It comes with a debit card and a checkbook. He started typing. He asked for her phone number. He asked for her email. He asked for her mother's maiden name, for security. Your mother's maiden name is your mother's family name before she got married. This is a very common security question in the US. Finally, Mr. Roberts stopped typing. He pushed a small machine toward Lila. Please set your PIN number. 4 digits. Lila pressed the buttons. Beep. 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 Mr. Roberts opened a drawer. He pulled out a temporary debit card. He handed it to Lila. Then, he took the thick envelope of cash from her. I will deposit this immediately, he said. He put the money into a counting machine. The machine stopped. Mr. Roberts smiled. It was a small smile, but it was there. Welcome to Empire City Bank, Lila, he said. Your money is safe now. Lila walked out of the bank. The sun was shining on the New York streets. She felt lighter. She wasn't carrying the heavy cash anymore. She had a small plastic card in her pocket. She walked back to the coffee shop. She ordered a blueberry muffin. That will be $4, the barista said. Lila smiled. She didn't struggle with cash. She pulled out her new card. Card, please, Lila said. She tapped the card on the machine. Beep. Approved. It was a small sound, but to Lila, it sounded like victory. She was no longer a tourist. She was a resident. She was part of the system. She had conquered the paper fortress. Lila learned that in the US, paper is sometimes more powerful than money. You need the right documents to unlock the doors. But she also learned that there is always a solution if you ask the right questions. The moral of the story is this: don't give up when you hear no. Ask how, instead. Now, I have a question for you. Do you prefer using cash or card? In your country, is it easy to live without cash? Tell me about the banking culture in your country in the comments below. If you want to navigate life in English with confidence, click subscribe and listen to this episode next. We are going to explore renting an apartment, because now that Lila has a bank account, she needs a home. Thank you for listening. Watch your minimum balance, keep your proof of address safe, and I'll see you in the next story.